gonna shoot life, shoot life. Gonna shoot life. Shoot life, shoot life. Yeah, my people, welcome. Grand Rising, I see you all. Welcome and thanks for joining us this wonderful morning. It's a sunny morning anywhere. Even though it's chilly. Sunny and chilly at the same time. You can imagine the likeness. Oh. Oh. Welcome everyone, welcome. Hey. Yeah, my brother Solomon. I think this is the first time we're having our first comment from YouTube. Yeah, thank you. Ndegekime. Ken Jidama. Calling from Cornwall. Ha, Mezuol unko. Millet World Day. Wana de mama solo. Ndoka mamihe. Badio. Patient Badio. What's up, my brother? One can amen. Kego siada. Mawoke hell, umuduru no shiriko. Unu shirike, umuduru no shirike. Yeah, from UAE. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Mfe George Chibuchi. Dalo. Mfe Patrick. Patty. Oga Patty. Don't let me vex for your network interruption. No, my brother, no, we are not saying the type of thing that will make them call the network. Guys, please let me share. Let me get the banner ready anyway, first off. Yeah, good morning, my brother. Watching from Norway. Ha! Ndokodoko. Stockfish still there, so. Will. Yeah. Good rising. Will. No interruption. No, nothing will interrupt it. Nne. Okorocha. Nne Kekime. Good morning, Grace. Emi Ogolo. Welcome, my sister. Thanks for joining us. Ewoja John. It's like our Ethiopian brother. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. One Ole. Oli. Edu. That one Neken. Jaguar for New Delhi, India. How's India this morning? Greetings from India. We have so many Indian fans today. Oh, good morning. How are you? Onna, it's your wife's photo. I'm fine, my bro. I'm fine. From Switzerland. This Swiss. All the weekend. This Zurich. Basel. Geneva. On our whole power. Folarin. Mo báwo ni? Ẹ̀yin tèmi báwo ni o? Mo wà oya lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́. Henry Brown, thanks for joining us. Good morning for your village in Ibeku. Hey, Ibekwe. How are you, my brother, in the village? Imagine being in the village by now, enjoy nature and everything. Ego Chinelo Kati, Auntie Kati. Watching from Lag. Eko Dumota. How are you, my brother? Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Mbweke Mbori. Dubemezi Igwe. What's up? Mbwe. Innocent. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Will. Oh, now you said, you're too much. Oduma Sachs. I was blocked on Facebook. Are you serious, my brother? Hey. That one they will block you soon. Onyoma na jamo. Nyewayolu. Say, my Ghana brother. 80 saying. Good morning. Chibike. What's up? Thanks everyone. Wisdom Amadi. God bless you too and your family. I hope you all are okay. My brother, Sakodi Wahab. 80 saying. Yeah, Jerry, thanks. Thanks everyone for joining us. Fine morning to you. Yes, yeah. My brother, he did now. He did that side. We'll fire on. Of course. Guys, so let's just start. Let's just start to come to the comment section later. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks everyone for being a part of the morning show. My people, like I predicted, what should happen to China is just very obvious. And if the president of your country is not doing it, just know that China owns your country. The Chinese Communist Party own your country. The leaders of the Chinese Communist Party own your country and your politicians. Even those that they own, this is the best opportunity to break loose from their chains because loan is debt. This goes to my brothers and sisters in Zambia. What's happening in Zambia is happening everywhere. Some people just don't know it yet. Where the Chinese, these stupid people that are escaping hunger and tyranny in their own country, telling Africans that the restaurants in their own country is not for foreigners. Can you do that in China? If this is a Cold War, believe me, I want to get involved in it. And we Africans should join this fight. In politics, there is no permanent friend, there is no permanent enemy. I see some of my brothers who call themselves revolutionaries without understanding that the game has changed. And if you are a revolutionary, the movement demands that you join the fight against China. They've never been your friend and they will never be. Are you hearing me? They've never been a friend of Africans or Africa, and they will never be. This is the best time to hit them. Send them away from you. Like I've been sounding the alarm. If you are owing them $4 billion, tell them that the cost to your economy as a result of this, their China virus, is 15 billion. Then they will start negotiating. At the end of the day, it will end up in cancelling the debt. The Germans were the first people to even hand them the bill, 100 and something billion euros. Yes. I have not checked the German trade deficit with China, but I'll guarantee you it will be at that rate, somewhere around there. Wait, something is falling. Let me take care of it. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my people, we will never ever let these people go scot-free. And if our politicians can rub two brain cells together, they will join Donald Trump. See, you don't really need to like someone for you to form a political alliance with the person. Okay? Our politicians don't need to agree with Trump. And all these so-called policy drivers and policy experts in Africa, they are just dummies. They are just dummies. If you think if you need any evidence, look no further than the type of people they put in front of your TV every day, giving you their stupid analysis. Giving you their stupid analysis. Look at what they are spewing from their mouths. Whatever they keep repeating the talking points handed to them by the stupid what do you call them? Consulting firms. Now the people ruling over you don't know that the people they are consulting with in Washington, in London, in Rome, in Geneva, and all these places are owned by China. How are they? And they are benefiting from everything China is doing. They don't want to bring manufacturing back to their countries because it's cheaper to manufacture things in China. Now, all these corporations that control those countries manufacture almost everything in China. Could you imagine that? Not a single dose of antibiotics prescribed in America is being made in the USA. 90% of them come from China. The rest, Pakistan and India. Now, those people are the ones that own the lobbying firms, and those lobbying firms and the lobbyists in there are the same people employed by the corporations. So you find out that they've blindsided your so-called politicians, from your president to the least person. Go check the consulting firms your people are working with. Check McKinsey, for instance. They work with so many African countries. Meanwhile, they've shipped all the American jobs, all the European jobs to China. Are you expecting them to advise these politicians, these civil servants you made presidents, governors, senators? Are you expecting them to tell them what will disadvantage them? How did China get into the World Trade Organization? How? See, as you know, I know the history of America and what Europeans did to Africans. But for now, our biggest threat is China. Why? Because China is working with the same corporations that own all those slave plantations. When they were running slavery, no European was getting money from slave trade, from the transatlantic slave trade. No American was getting money from the transatlantic slave trade. Are you getting me? The people who were raking in those the billions in today's money, trillions in today's dollars, are these corporations. Each and every corporation in the presidential cycle of the Council on Foreign Relations, all of them, each and every one of them has their money, their wealth built on slavery. Why do you think they were going to all these wars? And they are praising, you see how they are magnifying the wars of aggression, as if it was something that they tell you, this empire, the Greek empire, this and that, that and this. As if that is how you are supposed to be talking about it. You are supposed to be calling it what it is: war crimes. War crimes. And the same families who were doing it during the Greek Empire were the same one who morphed into the Roman Empire, made it strong, because the Romans gave some people power in Greece. Guess what? The same people. Now, when they started moving into the Holy Roman Empire and this current one you have now, when they tell the British Empire, the Spanish Empire, the French Empire, check them. All those monarchs are all related by blood, without exception. Yes. Each and every one of them, even the Russian Empire. Catherine the Great, where was she married from? And where did she marry into? Till date is the same people. And now the same people are trying to kill the economy of the West while propping up China. And when you get to China, they are sharing the things with the Chinese Communist Party leaders. How many times are we going to show the photos of the Chinese dictator Xi Jinping with Jacob Rothschild and David Rockefeller? Who made Nixon open up the West, open up America, and with it the West to China in the 70s? At first, he started with the Americans sending them cigarettes. Then he got to them moving their factories to there after they brought them into the World Trade Organization. Why? Now you have to manufacture them there. If it would cost them $15 to manufacture in the USA and cost them 15 RMB to manufacture it in China. Now check how much is 15 RMB to $15. Then when they are bringing it in the name of free trade, they will not be taxed. And when you are not taxing them, don't you see that by force every factory in the West would be closed? Now they will bring taxation, different type of tax. This global warming bullshit is a scam. I've been telling it to people, they don't want to hear. Climate change. Is there any time the climate has not been changing? Now to open a factory, you have to pay carbon tax, pay this tax, pay that tax. At the end of the day, you pay the workers and you have minimum wage. You can't pay them less than the minimum wage, especially the citizens. Now you have to move or employ immigrants who you'll be paying under the table, less than what you should be paying them. And when the people complain, you call them racist, that they hate immigrants. Meanwhile, the ones you are doing in China, now you can't put tariff on them. You try as an individual to ship something to France, Italy, and all these places. You will see the tax you will pay. You will see the tax they will levy on you. But them, when they are corporation, go and check them. Gap. Every American product you are using, or 90% of them are manufactured in China. And when it comes to clothing and all these essential goods, believe me, they are coming from China. Now they are using China as a supply chain. Meanwhile, China is getting all those mineral resources from where? Africa. Guess who owns Africa? The same European corporations. Are you seeing what's going on? Are you seeing what's going on? You say, so US is owing China. The debt US is owing China net is more than 5 trillion US dollars. And if you expand it very well and look deeper, it's nearly 8 trillion. No be shishio. Ask people in America, homes are expensive in California because of China. The Chinese, guess what? They will pay cash. You think the property owners will listen to you when they see people that are paying cash? And that's money they are making from selling their goods. Everything is 50-50. You know all these your kings in Africa, when the Westerners came, they empowered them and told them to be collecting taxes. Then they divide it 50-50. This is the same way they're doing with these people. Guys, please help me share this. The reach is so low. Help me share this. Please make sure you've hit the share button. Those on Facebook, please hit the share button. Share it. The reach is very, very low. Or is it their censorship again? Right now, As an American, try and criticize China in America, YouTube will take your videos down. Google will censor you. A country, the only country in the world that freedom of speech was enshrined into their own constitution. This one, you know, the people that establish America are very intelligent people. And some people think they are dumb by saying God, in God we trust. No, those people, each and every one of them, most of them were Masons. And when you see that someone is a Freemason, doesn't mean that the person is evil. Masons are not necessarily evil or good. No, you have different logics. You have different logics. Meanwhile, you have the evil ones among them, like the Jesuits. Okay, let me not use the Jesuits, use the Knights Templars. The first Templars were going to free their own people and spread knowledge. Then they were infiltrated. Go and check their fall. Then check the rise of the Order of the Illuminati and the rise of the Jesuits. The peak of it. Same thing. Why were they killing Knights Templars then? Charles de Molay, do you know how they killed him? They broke every bone in his body. Meanwhile, the same people are using Templar crosses everywhere. Now, they went in, corrupted it. The people who founded America, the founding fathers, do you see the trick they played? They told you that their rights came from God and only God can remove it. Meanwhile, these are the people who have the secret of Kemet, Persia, ancient Babylon, Mesopotamia, the knowledge of the Indus Valley, of North America, Australia, and everything. Yet they put God. You know why? Because they know you cannot see that God. Since it's God that gave it to them, only God can take it away. Do you see how they fool the people who think they are intelligent? My dear Knights Templars, go and read the real history of the Templars. Right now, they've been corrupted. By the time the Catholic Church, not just the Catholic Church, the Roman Church, because the Anglican Church is even still a Catholic Church. It's universal. The Romans went in and corrupted it. They were going to end monarchy, in case you don't know, in Europe. They were going to destroy them. So sometimes when you hear a secret society, please go and study the history. And don't study the history by reading books. No, meet the people who are in there. If they know that you are someone who can keep secrets, they will tell you. They don't tell it to anyhow person, because we go out and start blabbing rubbish. Have you seen how they played it? And they gave them their First Amendment right. The First Amendment right to say what you want, what you feel, how you want it. Then backed it up with what? Their Second Amendment right to bear and keep arms. Because they know that one with gun is majority, not God. One with gun is majority. Now, the same people, mostly liberals, Republicans, are doing it too. Go and check each and every person whose name is in the Jeffrey Epstein Black Book is under blackmail. You see, John Roberts, the US Supreme Court, the fake conservative Supreme Court, appointed by who? The Bushes, George Bush. Those people, that's why you see them passing these their nonsense laws. They are under serious blackmail. The people who are blackmailing them are the people who propped up China. Like I keep telling you, patriotism is the drug they use to food the simple things. Yes, if those people were actually patriotic, they love their countries, they wouldn't have opened up China for that. In fact, they would tell China, develop your own, feed your own people, manufacture things. For China and America to be at peace now, they will have to devalue the dollar. Yes, and hike the Chinese this thing. Meanwhile, all those people who think they are using the Chinese don't know that the Chinese people are using them also, because they are not dumb. They know that this day would come. Now, go and check what they're telling you. The Chinese have stored gold. They've done this. They have massive amounts of gold. Where do you think the gold is coming from? Your place. Your place. You need paper money, right? US dollars. Don't worry. Take your US dollars, which they are making from Americans themselves. And they don't even, to show you how evil and wicked these people are. Very terrible set of, you see, Asians, fear them. Fear them. Fear these Asians. They are a bunch of bloodthirsty people. They are not even after the well-being of few people. They want to finish those things the Europeans can't do, because their people will strike back against them. Now those people are using China to do it because the Chinese can't do shit. They are not free themselves. Do you think in Europe now, when Europeans know exactly what their corporations are still doing in Africa, believe me, you will have a massive riot in France, in the UK, in USA. It may lead to the end of the British monarchy. I'm telling you. It may lead to the end of the British monarchy, of which you shouldn't be having such nonsense. They tell you it's not powerful. Really? If it's actually a constitutional monarchy, why is it that the Queen has the power to call the Prime Minister in the middle of a session and they will suspend Parliament immediately? Go answer to her. Can the Queen be sued? Where are you going to sue her? In her own court. That's why it's called Crown Court. Crown Court, not People's Court. Crown Court. You will not know how unfree Britain is until you study what they are doing to people. The British monarchy, they love exactly what China is doing. Ask people in Britain. You see this thing I'm saying here? You can't say half of it in Britain without going to jail. I'm telling you, people in UK, please confirm. Police will knock on your door immediately. Oh, Her Majesty's court. And when a king takes over, it will be His Majesty's court. Another name for that is Crown Court. Try it. Some of you, if they ask you to choose between Turkey and the UK, you will choose the UK. But you are not free there. You see what I'm saying here? You can't try it in the UK. Say it there and see how fast you end up in jail. Julian Assange is still in prison. You know that. All the cases against him in the US has collapsed. Now they must tie him to Russia. He's an Australian citizen. And some people are like, why is Australia not fighting for their citizen? Australia is still a property of the British monarchy. Don't you know that? Just like Canada. Dominion of Canada. Thank you, Nonso, for confirming it. Try that, try it and see how fast you end up in jail. I am not kidding you. I am not kidding you. Do you know how many Chinese spies they've arrested since Donald Trump took over? You mean the FBI, the CIA, with the best tracking device in the world? Every message you are sending or receiving, as long as you are calling someone in the US, believe me, they have everything about you stored and databased in Utah. But somehow they didn't see that the person who've been with Dianne Feinstein, Senator Dianne Feinstein, someone in the Armed Services Commission and intelligence, this thing in the Senate from California. Somehow they didn't know that the man was a spy for 25 years. And Dianne Feinstein is not going to jail. Why? The people who are supposed to arrest her are in it. They are all in it. They have hand in it. That's China for you. They've taken over the entire California. Please, if you are listening to me from California, please tell them whether I'm lying or not. Tell them if I'm lying or not. Yet we are supposed to be taking insult from these people, these rags, these hungry people, that if not for the deep state in the West, under the Five Eyes Alliance, if not for them, these people would still be dying of hunger. They have a population they can't feed. How do you think China gets this money they give you in loan? Go check, every company in China is 50% foreign owned, 50% Chinese owned. When I'm talking about Chinese, it is the Chinese Communist Party. You can never see any anti-China this thing article on New York Times and Washington Post. The local newspaper of Washington, D.C. can never print a single anti-China something. Be it in a print media or otherwise. Never. Jeff Bezos can't do shit against China. If not, Amazon will collapse. Amazon will collapse. No kidding. Michael Bloomberg censored his own journalist for doing an investigative work on the leaders of the Chinese Communist Party. Some of you people have been deceived. When they want to kill a small person for corruption, they will tell you Chinese, they will shoot the person dead, this and that. If they want to kill them, start from Xi Jinping. He's one of the richest men, the wealthiest men in the world. Start with Chairman Xi. Do you know what the Chinese are suffering because they are just showing you mega cities, and they will only show you the developed side? Stray from those places and see how they are suffering. They are dying of hunger. All this nonsense they are eating, you think they just want to eat them? Because of hunger, they were dying. Then they started eating all those things. Now it's a part of their delicacy. Now it's a part of their delicacy. A bunch of non-entities. They are riding on the backs of the same people who ran slavery in your land. Yes. You saw what happened to that Zambian, and they're still there making videos. What they are doing, they told us, and you left them. Even in Nigeria, the same Nigerians that will come here to insult their fathers, what you find in their fathers' undergarment, the same people who come here to insult their father's private part are still telling you, hey, don't you know it's happening in Ikeja, and you people are doing what? Then they will tell you, why don't you come back and do it later? Don't worry, you people will enjoy. You people enjoy it. Don't worry, wait for me, I'm coming. Let's see who will suffer it more. Ha, that Owerri pikin. Nda ele. Nda Chema. My guys, please check out his program. It's an Igbo program anyway. You will enjoy it with nice Owerri accent. Check out the Facebook page. That's Owerri Pikin. Check out the Facebook page. That's Owerri Pikin. If you're an Igbo man or woman, you will love it. My people, it's high time we woke up and smelled the coffee. Donald Trump is going to hit them real hard. Wait, let me show you. As always, Tucker Carlson's show last night. Please, guys, I'm using Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is not Fox News. It's just a show on Fox News. Okay? Fox News is as terrible as CNN, BBC, France 24, that's France 24, and the rest of them. And if at this point you don't know that CNN is not news, I'm sorry. Or NBC, MSNBC, which I call MSN bullshit. Or MSNBS, the short form. But this show, Tucker Carlson, he hits them real hard. He hits them real hard. Let's check out the Tucker Carlson episode. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We have a newly released document for you this evening, declassified just a few hours ago. It was written during the final few moments, literally, of the Obama administration on Inauguration Day with the National Security Advisor. It reveals what you may have suspected. FBI Director Jim Comey considered himself more powerful than any elected American president. In the name of defending democracy, in other words, Comey rejected democracy's main tenet and put himself completely in charge. No election necessary. It's all a chilling glimpse of how things actually work in Washington. We've got the details just ahead. But first, for 3 years, our entire professional class hectored us about the overweening threat we supposedly faced from Russia. Russia, you remember, had somehow hacked American democracy.
Do you know why Russia is the enemy? Because they are not getting money from the Russian oligarchs. Before then, they were praising the Russian oligarchs, especially in London and USA. Then a power beyond. Remember the leftist media in America who were defending the Soviets. When Russia was a communist state under the Soviet Union, the American left were defending them. Now, Russia has become a democracy, whatever that word means. Now they became the enemy. Why? The people in charge of Russia and the Russian economy are not their own people anymore. Putin took back everything and made it Russian. Then the people he left in charge, he put them under lock and key. They are keeping their eyes on them because they are not getting any money from Russia. They can't use Russians as peasants like they're using the Chinese. You think these people are not seeing what's happening in China? Imagine the greatest insult to our collective intelligence was the one they told us about that CV19. That the China virus only killed 3,000 people in China. Really? Eh? Are you serious? Only 3,000 something people. When only a single funeral home at the height of it, we are burning at least between 500 and 2,000 dead bodies a day. A day. Let's continue.
During the 2016 presidential campaign, Russian agents had infiltrated our government at the highest levels. Honorable former naval officers, people who seemed honorable anyway, like Carter Page, were in fact secret stooges of Vladimir Putin's, and they were working toward diabolical ends with political consultants like Roger Stone. It was all hiding in plain sight, and it was working. Forget Mexico or Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates or many other countries.
These countries you just mentioned basically own the US politicians. Saudi Arabia and co. You remember the former Mexican government, that criminal, was even insulting Trump, making campaign ads. They were airing on CNN, MSNBC, NBC and co, ABC, CBS. And for those of you that are confusing, telling you, hey, Trump is racist to Mexicans because he doesn't want them to come. Why would he want Mexicans to come to America? Why don't Mexicans use what is in Mexico? Is he racist? Really? The rulers of Mexico, who've been ruling Mexico since you can remember, are all Europeans. Trump is a European. That idiot who was insulting Trump is a Spaniard. It's a Spanish person. When they are telling you the US-Mexico war, no, it's American-Spanish war, which led to this last one that made America expel these people from Cuba, took it over before Fidel Castro came back, and decided not to let even the Spanish power and the British power to take over the land. He expelled them and didn't want anything to do with them. Who do you think put Batista in power in Cuba? Do you know, as at the time Batista was in control of Cuba, that the Bushes, the Bush family, basically own about 40% of the land of Cuba and nearly 80% of the sugar plantation? Do you know that? Then in Mexico, people who are directly related to the Spanish crown run the place. Then Trump is racist. Really? Mexicans, when they tell you to stop speaking Spanish, speak English, you call it racist. Is Spanish a Native American language? What happened to the Aztecs they met there? What happened to the indigenous people that Christopher Columbus killed? Don't you know that it was the Spanish crown that sent Christopher Columbus to that place? Do you even know that? This shout of racism is just fraud, in case you people don't know. The people sponsoring those rallies and organized protests are the same people who are still stealing your resources in your land. They are the same people who sent their ships to come and steal your ancestors, pillage your land, rape your mothers and fathers. Those of you who are too light-skinned people, my mother and co, and all these long-nosed Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and Fulani people, you think they didn't mix blood with you people, or now they try? But they will tell you these people are racist for telling them to use the resources of Mexico to develop Mexico.
It was Russia, more than any other place, that threatened America's sovereignty, that was actually in control of our foreign policy. That's the story they told us. None of it was ever plausible. In fact, it was completely absurd. It was obviously absurd. There was never any evidence that it was true, but they kept saying it day after tiresome day until it stuck, until every single CNN viewer, every single PBS donor, every subscriber to the New Yorker magazine believed it as a matter of religious faith. Russia hacked our democracy. It was almost on their tote bags. It was their mantra.
The Russians exploited a massive backdoor into the foundation.
This is Chinese News Network or Clan News Network. Christopher Cuomo, a brother to Andrew Cuomo, the billionaire governor of New York, son of the former governor of New York, Mario Cuomo. Not let them in New York, Italians, my brothers and sisters. You think the Italian mafia disappeared? No, they are here. Look at them. These are their children. Ask me how this idiot got into an Ivy League school. Mumu, when no even sabi carry dumbbell. Keep repeating the talk. Watch him. Just be watching the stations. Now go and check the Chinese investment in CNN. Not just CNN. Do you know that CNN is owned by Time Warner? Now, if CNN broadcasts anything against China, then every business Time Warner is doing in China will be suspended. And you know the Chinese, they have a population that will consume their movie. Without China money, Time Warner will collapse. How many of you know that this nonsense belongs to Time Warner? You're talking about the Warner Bros.
Of our democracy. Moscow's attack on American democracy.
The work by Russian agents to try to destabilize American democracy.
Everything you need to know about the threat to our democracy.
You have Republicans who are
MSNBC, owned by General Electric, a defense company, tied to JP Morgan, tied to Thomas Edison. The man who is responsible for you not to be using free electricity, by now you are supposed to be using free electricity. If you don't know it, go and research the Tesla Tower. The same people who did that own this nonsense. MSN bullshit. They should change this C. They should switch this C with S. So it will become MSNBS. It will make a perfect sense.
silent and seemingly okay with this kind of attack on our democracy.
There is no question that Russia attacked us. Or attacked, ladies and gentlemen.
This idiot, bastard, I think he's dead now. Mumu.
Constitution.
Attack on the integrity of our elections.
An attack on our democracy.
The first time we've had an adversary.
Are you noticing the talking point? You notice they are all sounding alike. Wait, let me even let me even show you how it works. Let me show you how propaganda works. Guys, this is my YouTube channel. Ijele Speaks. Please go and subscribe to the channel. Wait, let me show you existential threat. Watch. You see how they all sound alike. Hold on. Talking points. I want to show you something. How the media sounds alike. They've scrubbed up all, they've scrubbed the videos from YouTube. And people are wanted, you see, they are scrubbing all those videos. You will see how the media sounds alike. The same people is copying their news. I think some of you may have come across the videos. Every media house sounds the same thing, word to word. Word to word.
Attack us that we have not responded.
These people brandishing their silly credentials like we have a moral obligation to listen to them because they know what they're talking about. They were fools reading their stupid talking points again and again like they were real, but they were doing it for a reason. The beauty of the Russia fable was that it allowed these people, our ruling class, to ignore the huge number of actual problems the United States faced, problems that in many cases they caused or at very least failed to solve. The drug addiction crisis that has killed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands over time, the border that is essentially open, a disappearing middle class, the core of our country, the rise of China, and then, of course, any number of counterproductive foreign wars that should have ended long ago.
Yes.
For 3 years, nobody in Washington talked about any of this. In fact, failing to worry about Russia exclusively invited suspicion on you. If you wanted, for example, American troops home to the Middle East, or if you wondered aloud why no one seemed to care when your 23-year-old niece died of a fentanyl OD, that might be evidence you too were colluding with Russia. And that's not an exaggeration. Susan Rice, who seems smart, she went to Stanford, admitted later that she decided Michael Flynn was a Russian spy because he talked too much about China. And that's what Russian spies do.
Are you hearing it? Talk about China and they will brand you a Russian spy. Now, see if this makes sense to you. How can China and Russia basically vote in the same way when it comes to the United Nations and this United Nation and every other thing? Now, how is an attack on China, a legitimate attack on China, supposed to make you a Russian puppet or a Russian agent? Are you noticing a trend here? Are you noticing something? If it doesn't make sense to you, believe me, you are not alone. We are in the same boat. Let's continue.
Now, Donald Trump was elected, no one thought he would be, precisely because he talked about issues like these, the ones that matter. That was a massive threat. So they derailed, to a large extent, his first-term agenda, using a hoax concocted by the administration he replaced. Who benefited from this? Well, the people who thought it up, but nobody benefited more than the Chinese government. While our leaders in Washington wasted literally years accusing each other of working for Putin, China grew more powerful. It grew closer to replacing the United States as the world's dominant nation. By the time this version of coronavirus spread west from Wuhan, China was calling many of the shots internationally. We didn't even know it until the crisis hit. For example, the U.S. has given far more money than any other nation to the World Health Organization. And yet, strangely, our ally Taiwan still is not a member of the WHO. Why is that? Only one reason: China doesn't want them to be. And so they're not. China is effectively in control of the WHO.
Of course.
Watch the director of the World Health Organization repeat the most ridiculous Chinese propaganda as if it were all completely true with an utterly straight face. That's right. As always, if you want to know who's really in charge, watch the lies they tell.
The Chinese government is to be congratulated.
This idiot you are seeing, that is January 30th. He's telling you that the Chinese government contained the coronavirus, the China virus. That's what I call it. I don't like sugarcoating it. Coronavirus or CV-19, COVID-19 is just a euphemism to cover up for this evil regime you call the Chinese Communist Party. This fool is not a doctor. For those of you who were insulting me, when I told you that this virus is just malaria and flu combined. Are you a doctor? Guess what? I've been proven right. Do you know who else isn't a doctor? This one, like a Bedford head. Look at the head. Do you know this Bedford that Oranyaka water supply was using to carry water in Onitsha those days? Look at this, his forehead, an idiot. He's not a doctor. And those of you who are defending this fool, who were defending him when Trump was calling him out, hey, he's racist, he's a racist, for attacking. This idiot covered up 3 different cholera outbreaks in Ethiopia that killed thousands of people. Anytime you see people who are too forward to tell you, show you who is a racist and who is not, run away from that people. They are using this racism tag to shut down every conversation and legitimate criticism of their puppets, just like they did it with Obama. Criticizing Obama's foreign wars was racist. Then he destroyed Libya, and the place became an open slave market for blacks. Who is more racist? The person that was calling out Obama's failure, or Obama that caused the destruction of Libya, the only financial salvation Africa had up to this day, that would have made Africa richer than Europe and America combined together? I kid you not. Had they used the gold dinar, there would be no need for Naira to be devalued. At least by now, Naira would have been $1 to 30 Naira. At least. Do you know what that would have meant? That is development, because everything would be tied to gold. Give it 50 years, Naira would be bigger than the dollar. That would be the end of Europe. The satellite, he said, what did they do to it? The water. He brought water from across the desert into every Libyan home. That stupid Obama, all of you that are still defending that Obama, if they want, whenever any day they are taking a census of number of sheep in the world, please don't forget to go to enlist. Don't forget to take part. You are a sheep. You'll be forgiven if you don't know it before now, but now you've heard it. If you are still towing that path, you are a confirmed sheep. Congratulations. Come take your sheep tag. This fool is the reason the whole place is locked down. When China decides that the whole place will be locked down, this man will send out the memo and they will lock your place down. This latest 2 weeks lockdown is because there is another outbreak. China now closed down another city twice the size of Wuhan. I kid you not. Maybe we'll do that one later in the evening. Look at, just watch him. January 30th. January 30th. Not a doctor, yet the head of the World Health Organization. He was a Marxist. Still a Marxist. Now you wonder why he goes well with China. Of course, yam and oil must go well. Let's start fresh. I just want to put that one out there. Wanted to put that one out there.
Organization repeat the most ridiculous Chinese propaganda as if it were all completely true with an utterly straight face. That's right. As always, if you want to know who's really in charge, watch the lies they tell.
The Chinese government is to be congratulated for the extraordinary measures it has taken to contain the outbreak. China is actually setting a new standard for outbreak.
Are you hearing it? China is actually setting a new standard for outbreak response, and it's not an exaggeration. The lockdown is the new standard. The lockdown is the new standard. The Chinese were shooting people dead. They were welding shut people's doors and windows. You die in your apartment, they'll come and pick your dead body, go burn it. They had industrial incinerators all around Wuhan because the funeral homes were overwhelmed. Not the hospitals, the funeral homes. And you don't burn living people. Are you understanding it now?
Response, and it's not an exaggeration.
So the new standard the fake doctor you just saw is promoting, in the end, created the worst economic calamity since the Great Depression, a calamity that China benefited immensely from. China may be the only country on the globe that has become stronger in the face of this. No doubt the Chinese government was pleased with what their puppets at the WHO accomplished. Last night, the President of the United States released a letter to the World Health Organization warning that the U.S. will suspend funding permanently if the organization doesn't reform itself right away and wean itself from China. We'll see if that happens. Either way, though, the problem is much bigger than just the World Health Organization. China's tentacles extend almost everywhere in our society. The Chinese government is now deeply enmeshed in higher education in this country. It's not an overstatement. A number of university professors, including one today, have been arrested for spying on behalf.
Are you hearing it? A number of professors in high university, Ivy League. Do you know the 1 Million Talent Initiative? That is the open spying network created by the Chinese. The person in charge of that 1 Million Talent Initiative basically decides who will become the anything in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, in fact, all around Silicon Valley. They even gave him awarded his company a government contract. Now start hearing the names. If they sound familiar, see if you see an Okafor, a Dele, an Audu, a Timipri, and Ekpeyon, or any name that sounds like your own. Just listen to the names of the spies they've caught so far. Watch.
Half of Beijing, literally spies on campus, tenured spies. China has profound influence in Hollywood. You know that. In professional sports, we saw that last year. And in corporate America, up and down the chain. The Chinese own huge amounts of real estate throughout this country, one of the reasons your kids can't afford to live in our cities. All of this has changed our lives in profound ways, but all of it happened with very little public notice. Why? Because the people making it possible didn't want to advertise it. They were getting very rich from it. Every ambitious climber in corporate America knows the rules now. Don't offend Beijing, and you can be rewarded. The head of Disney's streaming service just left to become CEO of TikTok. That's a Chinese company.
Disney service, Disney streaming service. The head just became the former head became the head of TikTok. That's a Chinese company. Now, do you know why for the past, tell me, in the last 10 years, in the last 15 years, have you seen a single movie from Hollywood that has a Chinese villain? When was the last time you saw a Chinese villain? For those of you who don't understand, now Ato and Boza they talk about. When be the last time you see Boz for film will be Chinese? All the bad people for movie will be Chinese. Other than all these ones that belong to Fox. Maybe, what's the name of that movie again? It's not Homeland. Is this Homeland? Yes, I think Homeland. Go and check it. Every Disney movie must have a Russian villain. Now you know how they've programmed you to believe anything they are saying about Russia. Some people, when they tell you they know history, they mean the history they watch on television, in movies. That is how brainwashed many people are. That is how brainwashed most people you think know Jack are.
That may appall you, but in corporate America, many are envious. They wish they were him. Washington hasn't been immune to this either. China's influence is everywhere in the capital city. Former Senator Joe Lieberman lobbies for China now. Hard to believe, isn't it? Samir Jain was a top cybersecurity official for the Obama administration. Now he lobbies for Huawei. And those are just a couple of the very few who followed the law and actually registered under FARA as foreign lobbyists. Hunter Biden never bothered to do that.
Yes.
Biden worked hard to sell his access to politics.
This is Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden. He got over $1 billion from $1 billion from a Chinese, a company owned by the Chinese Communist Party. He got that contract the day he flew to China on Air Force 2 with his own father. With his own father. You dare not say anything about it. No one dares open them, and he's still getting paid by them. We are not talking about Burisma or what they did in Ukraine. And in China, guess who he was dealing with in China? The son of Witiboja. Witiboja, the Irish mob boss. And do you remember they've been looking for Witiboja for a long time, and they only caught him after Trump came into power? They didn't even catch him in a village or in a remote area in South America. No, he was living in a major city in the USA. And somehow, these people whose satellites can see the make of your shoe, know your shoe size, did not find that man. And his nephew happens to be dealing with Hunter Biden. That's a story for another day. Let's continue.
Politicians in Washington, presumably his father, the vice president, chief among them, to investors who were getting rich in China. It was never a secret. Many people in Washington knew exactly what Hunter Biden was doing, and they didn't say anything to anybody. Why? Because it didn't seem weird to them. It wasn't strange. So many other well-connected people were doing the same thing, selling access to elected officials in Washington to the Chinese. Nancy Pelosi still doesn't understand why any of this is a big deal. Pelosi has spent decades bowing to the Chinese government.
That's the Speaker of the U.S. Congress. This is the Speaker. And she's from California. Go and check her worth. Her father was a mob boss from, I think it's Maryland. Is it? Yeah, I think. His father was a mob boss, a heroin king. I'm telling you, all these your people that are catching, hey, they caught him with something that's worth $1 million. No, that's what these people reckon in 4 hours. Every other person now just street sellers, retailers. Now on be this stupid evil woman. She turned 80. I think 2 months ago. Plastic surgery after plastic surgery. Go and check. We did a video on them and her family. I think those of you, okay, Maryland. Thank you, Case you go. Go and check her family history. Even Dan Feinstein and the Getty family, Brown and Newsom. This Nancy Pelosi. And coincidentally, her father was an Italian mob boss. You people thought they destroyed the mafia. No, they didn't. They are now in government fully. They've always been.
Even as she attacks this country as racist and backward as she does virtually every day of the week. Just the other day, Pelosi announced that no conversation about China is legitimate. It's all a distraction.
Let me just say that what the president is saying about China is interesting. It's an interesting diversion. Let's keep our focus on meeting the needs of the American people, opening our economy.
Yeah, it's a diversion. How many antibiotics do we make in this country in the middle of a pandemic? Let's see, 0, none.
Did you get that? No single antibiotic is being made in the USA. Every antibiotic sold in the USA is coming from Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and all these mega corporations. American companies, yet they don't manufacture a single dose of antibiotics. In the USA, they ship them all to China for low wage. Are you noticing a trend? You wonder how China became rich? That is how China became rich. And these people who are doing this thing and telling you that any attack on China is racist. All the things, your dogoyaros and everything, the Chinese are shipping them to their place, manufacturing things in their place. They can't manufacture it in your country. And the foolish rulers you have, they are taking everything. Put your hand on any place on the African map. Are you telling me that these people would move all these jobs to China? Let's try again. Maybe I don't know my map very well anymore. Let's see. Let's see. Which one are we going to use? Let's use this one. Okay. This is the United States. Huh? If you criticize China that is here, they will call you a racist. Then the same people who are still stealing resources here, these people and these people, this is Europe here. Atop Africa is Europe. This is Italy. This is Portugal. This is Spain. This is France. This is the UK. This is Germany. Are you hearing it? Now, these people will take resources here, especially here in you see this belt in Africa, this place you see, that's the raw material hub of the world. Now they will move all these things from here, go manufacture here, then fly it to here. From here, they will bring you finished products to here, or they will finish here, ship them to here, then bring it to you people here to buy. Are you seeing how the rape of Africa is happening? Now, these people will call you racist for criticizing China here. Meanwhile, they will jump from here across the Atlantic Ocean, jump everywhere here, then move to this place. But when you criticize China, you are a racist. Don't worry, we hear the names of the spies.
Just a diversion. When you watch something, maybe we'll find out. Even now, there are certainly downsides for anyone who dares say a negative word about Beijing. China is now threatening to punish elected American officials who dare to criticize the Chinese response to coronavirus. Hard to believe they're saying that out loud. To his credit, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is not intimidated. He's one of those who's been threatened by the Chinese government, and we're happy to have him on tonight. Senator, thanks a lot for joining.
Are you hearing it? The Chinese government threatening a U.S. senator. Because they're not afraid of him. They own the people. They are in cahoots with the people that own America. The corporations. BlackRock, the Vanguard, Bank of America. Those are the people everywhere you will see their hand, including Nigeria and Dangote Group. Dangote Group. That's where Dangote's power is coming from. For those of you who didn't watch the video we did yesterday, go and watch it. And that's why you need to boycott Dangote products. Are you hearing it?
Yes. First, if you could just be specific about the threat that China has made against you.
Well, China has said that they are going to sanction me personally, whatever that means, and they're going to sanction my state, the state of Missouri, because we've had the temerity, Tucker, to actually stand up. State of Missouri is suing the Chinese government, and rightly so. And I propose legislation that would allow every American who has been hurt by this.
Are you hearing it? Did you get that? Now they want to sue them state by state. Josh Hawley wants to introduce a legislation that would make it possible for as individuals to sue China. Now, how much do you think will be left? How much do you think will be left? This is what Africans should be doing. This is what Africans should be doing. You see this evil man. This guy is 10 times worse than Mao. At least Mao Zedong restricted his movement just within China. This one is taking it global. This idiot. You know Yogi Bear. They've banned Yogi Bear in China because some comedians started making fun of him, saying that he looks like Yogi Bear. For that reason, they banned Yogi Bear. American companies, Hollywood, those idiots censored themselves. Censored themselves because of this fool. If you didn't catch what he said before, hear it again. Hear it again. Just watch.
Pandemic. Let's see. 0, none. All in China. Just a diversion. When you watch something, maybe we'll find out. Even now, there are certainly downsides for anyone who dares say a negative word about Beijing. China is now threatening to punish elected American officials who dare to criticize the Chinese response to coronavirus. Hard to believe they're saying that out loud. To his credit, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is not intimidated. He's one of those who's been threatened by the Chinese government, and we're happy to have him on tonight. Senator, thanks a lot for joining us. First, if you could just be specific about the threat that China has made against you.
Well, China has said that they are going to sanction me personally, whatever that means, and they're going to sanction my state, the state of Missouri, because we've had the temerity, Tucker, to actually stand up. State of Missouri is suing the Chinese government, and rightly so. And I propose legislation that would allow every American who has been hurt by this COVID pandemic that Beijing unleashed on the world to allow every American to go to court who's been hurt, hold the Chinese government accountable, and have the court freeze Chinese assets. So I guess that makes me a target. I don't care. We're going to keep speaking the truth, and we're going to hold China accountable. And this is the time. We have got to change our relationship with China. It is now or never.
It's not just a question of trade. It's a question of what kind of world our grandchildren are going to live in. It's not an overstatement to say the future of the world hangs in the balance right now. So I fervently hope this can be a bipartisan effort. Have you had any luck getting Democrats in the Senate on your side to push back against Chinese dominance?
You know, I'm afraid that so far, I mean, our Democrat friends, they will talk a game about China and they'll say, yeah, that's a problem. And when it comes time to actually rubber to road, what are we going to do about it? You know, are we going to let Americans go to court to have their day? Are we going to change our trade agreements with China? Are we going to reform the WHO or just get out of it? Are we going to reform the WTO, the World Trade Organization, where we are just getting absolutely robbed blind by China? Are we going to do something about that? These are the arguments that I'm making, and it's time right now. It's time for elected officials to stand up and do something about it.
It shouldn't be partisan at all. There's no reason. It's a matter of national security. So at the end of it, we're spending so much money, trillions of dollars, to the point where it's not even real, of course. But it is, on some level, real. That is debt that the Chinese largely will buy, and then they will have even greater control over the United States. Are you worried that, in effect, the Chinese will bail out our country after a pandemic they unleashed on the world?
Yes, and this is one of the reasons why China needs to be forced to pay damages for what they've done. They're the ones who unleashed this on the world. Let's be clear. Beijing knew that they had a major health crisis on their hands in Wuhan, the origin of the virus. They silenced doctors. They gagged whistleblowers. It allowed this thing to spread and to spread to become a pandemic level. So they need to be forced to pay, Beijing does. But Tucker, beyond that, we've got to now build new coalitions of other free nations who are willing to partner together and hold China accountable. We cannot be satisfied and content with the status quo.
We should cancel Chinese debt. And there's only one, by the way, there's only one.
Do you hear it? We should cancel Chinese debt. Of course. Every country suffering now, which is almost the whole country in the world. Guess what? Almost all of them are owing the Chinese. Cancel the debt. This is just stop running around the issues. No need to run around the circles. No need running around the circle. Cancel every Chinese debt. It is as simple as that. You cut them to size. Then start on a clean slate. Join the JAMAs. Every African country should join this. Cancel the Chinese debt. My dear, am I owing you how much? $4 billion. Guess what? Your damage to my economy is $20 billion. Now, when are you bringing me my balance? Then let them bargain. Let them negotiate it. Maybe negotiate it down to 7. At that point, they'll be owing you. This is as simple. Guys, remember, I've been sounding this from day one. I've been sounding it from day one. Cancel every debt you owe to the Chinese. It's as simple as that. Hear it again.
So they need to be forced to pay, Beijing does. But Tucker, beyond that, we've got to now build new coalitions of other free nations who are willing to partner together and hold China accountable. We cannot be satisfied and content with the status quo.
We should cancel Chinese debt. And there's only one, by the way, there's only one president of American history to even entertain that. And it's this one. I hope he does. Senator, thanks so much for coming on. I hope you'll keep us posted on what happens with the sanctions against Missouri.
Thank you.
As we told you just a moment ago, America's universities have become one of the Chinese government's favorite fronts for spying on this country. By the way, the word spying has been devalued over this last presidential term because of the Russia nonsense. But we mean actual spying, where the Justice Department arrests people for passing secrets to a foreign government, something that never happened in the Russia case. It's happened a lot with China. Now, yet another American professor has been arrested for working for Beijing. Chief Breaking News correspondent Trace Gallagher has the latest on that story. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker, the enforcement is part of an aggressive plan by federal agents to keep the Chinese from stealing American advances in technology and science. A few days ago, Professor King Wang, who worked at both Case Western Reserve University and the renowned Cleveland Clinic, was arrested for secretly giving information.
Former Cleveland Clinic employee arrested for secretly giving information to China. Research funded by grants from U.S. taxpayers. Are you seeing it?
To China. Turns out Professor Wang's research on...
But Professor Wang, that name does not sound Ibibo to me. It's not an Isoko name.
Molecular and genetic science was being funded by a multi-million-dollar grant from U.S. taxpayers. Earlier this month, University of Arkansas electrical engineering professor Simon Saw Tiong Yang was...
Simon Saw Tiong Yang, indicted for wire fraud, applied for research grants from NASA, already receiving payments from Chinese government. Remember, it is the Communist Party in China. Are you hearing it? Let's continue.
Indicted for wire fraud. The Fed say he applied for a research grant from NASA when he was already receiving payments from the Chinese government. In March, University of Tennessee professor Ning Hu was also...
Ning Hu. It's not an Igbo name, let alone a Fulani name. Are you seeing it? Are you noticing something? When they say they are stealing American technology, no, it is not when it's finished, it's at the process. When it's still in the pipeline, they are mirroring everything to Beijing. Are you getting it? Let's continue.
Indicted because he too allegedly applied for a NASA grant despite secretly working for the Chinese. Also in March, West Virginia University professor Patrick Lewis allegedly faked a paternity leave so he
faked paternity leave, flew to China to conduct research for Chinese government. That is, this one not be say you go do and go give them. The person flew there to do it, then come back. Mind you, this China virus, they stole it from Canada. Yes, the guy who blew the whistle on it died in Kenya. I dare anyone to find that news on Google. Remember when we did this coronavirus thing in last October? There were many articles about it. Now go look for it again. And those videos we did last October, for those of you who don't know, we did the videos, our own video. In fact, by second week of November, we are no longer talking about the coronavirus. We are just telling people to prepare, that it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough. True or false, my people? Please confirm to them.
He could fly to China and secretly conduct research for a compensation package of about $750,000. In February, Emory University neuroscientist Xiaojian Li was conducting research for the National Institute.
John Lee, what? Conducted research for National Institute of Health. That is the people that sent money to this Wuhan lab. This Wuhan lab that this thing leaks from. National Institutes of Health failed to disclose being paid by China. Are you understanding it? Let's go.
Of Health, yet allegedly failed to disclose he was being paid by the Chinese. In January, the head of the chemistry department at Harvard, Charles Lieber, accused of taking $1.5 million.
Accused of taking $1.5 million from China to set up lab in Wuhan, the same place this virus came from. My people, are you noticing a trend? Are you noticing a trend?
From China to set up a research lab in Wuhan. And finally, last year, a professor from UCLA was convicted of selling U.S. missile secrets to China. Now Yi Chai-shi
accused of selling U.S. missile system to China. Advanced, not be go come. When you see the Chinese parade all these their weapons, they are all copy technology. Now you wonder how they are getting them. This is how.
Facing 2 centuries in prison. Tucker.
It's a long time. Trace Gallagher, thanks so much for that. John Michael Flynn saw China as America's top international threat. He said that out loud. So the Obama administration framed him as a Russian spy and destroyed his life and his family. Now we have newly revealed information about how and why they did that. And
okay, I think we are done with Tucker Carlson for today. Guys, again, this is my YouTube channel, Ijele Speaks. Please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. The Facebook account may go down at any time. We will regroup here while we wait for the website to be set up. Everything is already in motion. I assure you that. Everything is already in motion. Just subscribe, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Are you noticing it? Have you seen it? This is a confirmed plan between the rulers of America and Europe with the Chinese Communist Party. Are you understanding it? I saw something here. No, anybody that destroys it will pay it back with 4. With 4. Well done, YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Please, you people didn't notice what happened yesterday. For those of you who didn't watch us yesterday, the Wi-Fi was at the router itself went off. In the last week, we've had several attacks. For that reason, we are building our website. Don't worry, I will be giving you people updates on it. Okay? My dear, don't say we subscribed already. Say you. Say you subscribed already. say you have subscribed already. Not we. Yes, they shut us down. Yeah, you were there. So we are using that one as a backup. You understand? My people, this is the only play we have now, and if we miss this opportunity, I don't know when next we will get it again. In politics is like war. When you see an opening, take it. Please write to your elected officials, write to them. Those people are dumb. Do you know why Donald Trump is able to do it? He is a billionaire, my dear. You cannot become a billionaire in New York by being gentle. No billionaire is a cent. Go quote me anywhere. This is why we need businessmen in government. Businessmen that have that know that you become rich by building your community. Let's say you are a real estate developer. For your business to boom, it means that people around you would have money. So when you build homes, you'll be able to sell it. All these civil servants don't know anything. They are just only good in dressing well and speaking big grammar. Or apart from that, they don't know jack. If you think I am joking, ask anyone in main market, Onitsha. Electronics market, Onitsha. Iweka Road. Original. Ask them, when a civil servant is coming to buy something from your shop, man, you start being happy. Why? They don't know anything. Those are the people you put in government. You need people who think like criminals. Because if you don't think like a criminal, how can you catch a criminal? Yes. I was just watching some of my African brothers and sisters. Hey, Trump, what does he know? What does he know? And he turned his father's $1 million to billions of dollars. What does he know? And he took over. He became the face of New York real estate, even though he's not even anywhere near the top 10 richest real estate investors in New York. Packaging. He packaged himself into becoming a president before becoming a real president. Have you watched Celebrity Apprentice? Did you watch that? So you think someone who is doing that is dumb? You think he's dumb because the media told you he's dumb? Are you serious? Guy, if you don't have street credibility, you have no business with government in 2020. Believe me. Straight. Call their offices, call their PAs. If you know them, show them this video. Tell them, look at what this guy is saying. Please let them not contact me. And let me tell you, someone called me, wanted to sponsor the page, sponsor the website. And with the money, I asked him, please, what am I going to give you in return? He was like, no, nothing. It's just we'll be running some ads. I'm like, what ad? A political ad? He wanted to maneuver. And I told him, please be straight with me or I will end this call. I think the person must have been following me for a long time. Know that I would have just ended the call immediately. But the person is just not running for office for now. I'm like, I told him I will get back to you. If you are listening to me, you see that I will get back to you. You will not hear from me. Unless you tell me who that person is, then I will check if the person's political ideologies match with mine. Okay? So when I tell you to show them this thing, I am not looking for their contacts. No, if I'm looking for them, again, I turned down the article team that contacted me 2018. No kidding. But show them this, they no get brain. Who is this person? I think it's wait, let me check if it's okay, Njaka people. Guys, if it's this person, please don't say that you are going to report the account. I want you all to go report the account later. If you've not confirmed the account, don't attack the person because they will close your account. Let me check. It's a Buotele. The Buotele brothers. Nelly Brown. Let me check. You can't even see it from, okay, maybe the idiot. Close the wire camera. Let me block the bastard. If you can find it, go and report the useless account, please. Report the useless account if you can find the account. Hold on. If you can find the account, report the idiot. And the people who've been reaching out to me, thank you for reaching out. For you, those that wanted to sponsor the website, don't worry, we are not on the money stage yet. Someone please reply under this comment. Someone please help me reply under this comment. Someone help me reply under this comment. Let me block it from here too. Please, someone very fast reply under that comment. It has gone out from here. Reply under the comment, please. Help me reply under the comment. Let me reply under it if you can. So I will block. Okay, the comment couldn't load. No, the blocking worked. Guys, if you want to know these people I'm telling you about, I want to segue. Go to Palace of Justice. Go to this page on Facebook. You see, these are the thieves we are exposing. One of the thieves. I told you people to go to this page on Facebook, Palace of Justice, this one with the red writing. Go to Palace of Justice, you see these criminals. You see them. And that idiot they are calling mayor, if I let us see, oh, wait, now this one will be talk matter again. I will arrest, if I don't arrest your family before June. Let me hear you again. Then you know that I've just been posting for nothing. I'm out for you morons. My people, show this to them, send it to them, let them go to Palace of Justice and see the criminals we are talking about. Go there and see these fools, the morons, and their crimes. Okay? Go there and see their crimes. Watch what people are. These are the people we need to exterminate if we must free our land. Like literally liquidate. People who prey on the poor and the weak. My brother from Belgium, I got your message. The one from Spain, I got your message. Those 2 people in the UK, 3 people in the UK and 2 in the USA, I got your message. Don't worry, the only thing we need money for is the bandwidth. As for setting up the website and everything, the people are doing it for free. Okay? So at the right time, we will do it so they don't shut us down. If they close their website, if they are useless with Facebook, we will still be on our website. Okay? No get them, not them, you know them. So my people, show this to them. They don't know anything. That they are working in government does not mean they know how government works. Okay, are you hearing me? They don't know what's going on in the world. You are more informed than them. Please try and have a conversation with them. Not when they are drunk, when they are sober. Sit them down and have a 30-minute conversation with them. You will see how empty and daft they are. Not panel, Palace. Palace, let me write it here. Go there and see. I made a mistake. Palace, not Alas. Give them this idea, because most of them are still waiting. You see the way they are waiting for this idiot, the stupid Ethiopian in charge of the Without Health Organization, World Health Disorganization. They are waiting for them to give them order. That's how they are waiting for all these morons. They are so-called consultants in London, New York, and Washington to tell them what to do. Meanwhile, the same people who are supposed to advise them are taking money from China. You think they will give them the advice? No. Not $500,000. They gave him $1 million. The Ebuchere is now the Ebuotele. Don't stop calling them Ebuchere. The Ebuotele brothers. The Ebuotele brothers. Go to Palace of Justice. The fake P Square. Now them, the full year, the fake P Square. They are calling themselves E Square. Criminals and thieves. Those are the idiots that want to get into government. Will they wait on Anna? My people, call them and give them free advice. Tell them this is what they should be doing. Show them these videos. Let them come and watch. Tell them that we'll be insulting them, but they will learn something. Okay? Tell them they may not like what we are saying, but we'll be giving them the things that will free them. Because you see those of them that are taking those loans, the chain is on their necks first before us. Because the Chinese will be blackmailing them with it. Do you know that China, they said they built your AU, this in African Union headquarters in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, and gave it to you free. But do you know they planted bugs? They wired everything, even from the toilet, the bathroom, everywhere they wired it. Anything you say around there is being recorded in China. That is how devious these people are. That is how devious these people are. They are up to no good. Yes, you are right. Not just cameras. They don't even need cameras anymore. They just need speakers. Microphones. With your mic, with the mic, when they catch your voice, they will easily get your photo immediately. Immediately. Are you not an elected or official? They are seeing you on TV. They will match your voice immediately with any video that has your voice. Then they will know your picture. They know who is saying what. And they can interpret every language. Not be Chinese people, they speak Igbo. Ndị report ikpu nne ha Chineke wepụ. No, they use one of their minions. All these lazy Nigerian youths, the one that is calling himself Uchukwukwuo, Ezikuo, Mbikuo. Those people. My brothers and sisters, the Chinese are up to no good. No African should treat them as human beings. They are not treating us as one. You people saw how they are taking our people's blood. You know how they are taking our people's blood in China, all in the name of testing them for CV-19. If you haven't seen the video, please indicate. Let me show it to you now. It's on my Twitter. It's on my Twitter account. It's on my Twitter handle. If you haven't seen the video, tell me, and I will show you now. You see how evil the Chinese are and how they are treating us as animals. Who hasn't seen the video here? Please indicate. Indicate. You have not, let me show you. Let me show you. Guys, this is my Twitter account. Ijele Speaks. I think tomorrow, today or tomorrow, I'll open a new one, so we'll be broadcasting on a Periscope also. This is the one they are doing to our people where they are. Hold on, I'm coming. Where is the rest of it? Okay, now watch, my people. I want you to see this. Prepare to be wowed. Let me show you. Now watch this. Who hasn't done a blood test here before? Please, as you are watching, tell me if this is how they do a blood test. See it. Watch, yo. Watch. One syringe, the second syringe. See these tubes. We counted 20, total of 20 tubes and syringes. Just for a blood test. Watch. Meanwhile, at the same time, they are building a plasma vaccine for China virus. And you know, no single Nigerian in China is positive. No single Nigerian tested positive. Tell me it is not their blood they are using to develop those plasma drugs. Watch. Watch. How many can you count? Just from one person, oh. From one person, count it. Watch. Watch. They will still use these ones. Now count. Oh, wait, let me go back a little. See these ones. These ones are different from the first one, so watch.
Okay. Remove, put another place. But he's not throwing. No, from here.
Remove. Watch, count. How many could you count here? Then the other side. Count these ones. Just from one person. Blood test. Blood test. Just watch it. A blood test. Blood test.
See. Okay, now. No. Remove. Put another place. Yes, I move. Okay. Press.
Are you seeing it? Now let me show you the people that they released. Now when they release you, they will not take you to your apartment. In fact, by the time you get to your apartment, you see a notice telling you that black people are not welcomed. They evicted them. Now when they push you out in the street, remember these ones, they did not give them any document showing that they've been quarantined and their blood samples taken. So they will push you out in the street. After some days or some weeks, another team will catch you, take you to the hospital again. They repeat the same process. Is this not blood money? Now you will hear it from these people. Watch. Go follow me on Twitter too. Ijele Speaks. Watch.
These people just carry us from the hotel now. They did not give us our paper results. They did not. They just carry us from the hotel. Come outside where we don't know it.
Are you hearing it? No paper, no document, nothing to show that you've gone through this evil process. Why? So they will catch you again and go repeat the same process. Meanwhile, you have no home to sleep in. Those of them in the hotels are quarantined. You cannot go out, but the Chinese are allowed to go out. The Chinese are allowed to go out. You are not allowed to go out. You finish your money, then they will throw you out. You start going through the same process. Are you seeing it? Now the Nigerian government is telling you that you will pay 300,000 naira before you will be allowed to board a plane and come to Nigeria. Are you getting what is going on here? Are you understanding it? Just listen it from the people's mouth. I don't want to say the horse's mouth, please.
Say we should come down. We should drop here. We told them that we don't know any place here. Let them carry us go back to the hotel. They said no. They are forcing us to come down here. They are forcing us to come down here. We are many here. We are many here in the bus. They just call their police people to come and do force for us. But we see inside the bus now. We don't know what to do for now. We don't know what to do right now. These people are just frustrating us here. No paper that shows that we have already finished our quarantine.
Are you seeing it? No paper to show that they've finished their quarantine. Are you hearing it? This is not me making it up. This is not me making it up. Just hear it.
Finish our quarantine. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do right now. We don't know what to do. They say we should come down with immediate effect, and we don't know where to go. We don't know where we are now. And they did not give us our results that shows that we have finished our quarantine. What are we going to do right now, please?
Are you seeing it, my people? Again, this is my Twitter account. Ijele Speaks. Go there, you see me with my fine face. May I feel like cutting my hair after watching this picture. And remember my YouTube channel, Ijele Speaks also. No, the 600K is when you add the transportation, the flight ticket. The flight ticket. That's it. There should be a citizen arrest of the Chinese in Nigeria and other African countries. There should be a citizen arrest of every Chinese seen in the market, in everywhere. They are still mining your gold illegally all around Nigeria. I kid you not. When you hear the Chinese government say, we have stored enough gold, every gold there, most of them are coming from Africa. Go and ask Congolese. Pick up your phone. If you have many Africans as friends, close your eyes, put your hand on any map of Africa. Now call someone there and ask him, are the Chinese in your country? And you see what they will tell you. Don't expect your so-called leaders, your rulers to do this. What are you supposed to do? Do it yourself and force them to act. If not, you are not going to get any justice. Eh? Are you serious, my brother? You see? You see what they are doing to our people? Are you seeing it? Just watch it. Are these the people you are supposed to be associating yourselves with? Ask yourself this. Would you trust these people to take care of your used shoes? And your embassies won't do shit because your ambassador is getting something also. If they can bribe your president, who is the ambassador? Who is the ambassador? Who the hell is ambassador? Guys, I will be reading the comments, and if you have any question, you can throw it now. Like Idi Amin or Abacha. Man, Idi Amin, they will never allow such a person to rule again. And Idi Amin killed himself. He should have set up a strong structure. If not, Milton Obote and co wouldn't have done that to him. He didn't. He was answering a one-man Superman. At the end of the day, they finished him. We need to send a strong message now for doing this to our people. Man, it's long overdue. That strong message is long overdue. My brother, guys should find a way to live there. How are you going to live? China is a very giant prison. I'm in China, only to everyone we can talk because you're talking. Oh, you see? You see? You see? It's totally unacceptable. Of course. Of course. China is the owner of Nigeria now and many African countries. And many African countries. What is the way forward? Haven't you been paying attention, Evangelist Ernest? What have we been saying since? Oh, you can't go anywhere until everything is okay. The leaders are the most stupid I have ever seen. Yes. Yes, and when you talk, you see some morons trying to attack you. Hey, you don't have respect. What respect? Where is this respect as our people are dying in poverty and hunger? They are now being forced. State, you cannot travel from one state to another now because of a law imposed on you due to advice taken from the Without Health Organization or World Health Disorganization, which is wholly owned by China. Huh? You just joined the group. Okay, go and watch the video from afresh. Go and watch it afresh. We are about to end it. We are coming to the 2-hour mark. When are you going to review the corrupt politicians in the zoo? My brother, we are doing it every day. This one we are doing is another review of the corrupt politicians, of the top animals. It's better to do something with devil than my brother, mind how you type. Mind how you type. Do you believe in QAnon? My QAnon is just a mixture of fact and fiction. Okay, yeah. Thanks for getting it. Can't take it again from China. That is, my dear, we need to start doing something. Should start with those people back home because they are the people the Communist Party bosses sent there. If nobody can come there, they will not have any hold in your country. Now, they are not speaking your local languages. How are you going to do it? Our leaders are a problem, of course, and we are letting them. Even the food they sell you here in the US, no nutritional value. Oh, yes. Oh, those of you in Istanbul, let me go to Chinese restaurants. Keep going. I'm not going there anymore. Any day you see my leg, now my legs, they are cut it. By the way, I won't go there for my own personal security reasons because they may poison me. Yes, they may end up poisoning me. Yeah, do you think that the mandatory vaccination will be possible and what can we do to avoid it? My brother, it may be possible in the West. I don't know anybody who will go to that suicide mission in Nigeria. It's a suicide mission. Becky, well done. Ha! This one, oh yeah. Audu Odudu. Oh yeah, who go read this one? I will come to it later. Guys, I do read every comment in this session. Oh. Okay. How can Niger legislators sign loan contract written in Chinese? The leaders are shaking that they also say, not knowing that Chinese are calling them monkey. Of course, this one, they are doing it in your face. They are doing it in your face, straight to your face. This can be revised if one American government will. My dear, don't worry, that one is not so. You have to do this one yourself. I don't care, my brother. Oh, my dear, you don't read. All the airports in Nigeria, including Lagos, are handed over to the Chinese, but Nigerian citizens here to know about it. You see? No more Chinese anything for me either. Of course, you see, when I'm buying anything, unless I don't see any other brand from anywhere, you see Dangote, boycott. China, boycott. I am boycotting them. The doctor that came to Nigeria, my dear, they were not doctors, they are just technicians. That thing was a photo op. Technicians, people who are already working in China, who are already working in Nigeria, especially at House of Assembly. Individuals should declare, of course, to call attention to this, individuals should declare a war on the Chinese in Nigeria. They should declare a war. Just coming across your program. Please like and follow the page. Some of you who are watching have not liked and followed it. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ijele Speaks. Just subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Please try. So if the Facebook account goes down, we'll regroup there and continue. Pastors are more corrupt. They are all the same thing, my dear. They are the same thing. You see, from United Kingdom. How are you, Benjamin? Benji? I saw a video yesterday when a China restaurant, I put it on my page too. Mazi, I love the level of your... My brother, the best thing that happened to me was leaving school. Yes. The best thing that happened to me was leaving that dump yard you called school. Are you hearing me? I only completed a full school year in JS1. Apart from my JS1, I didn't complete any school year. My schoolmates are here. They can tell you that. JS2, only one term. I told them, I don't know what you people are teaching here. I wanted to be an astronaut, and I knew my father don't have the resources. He was a civil servant. So I told them, no need wasting my time here. Okay? I will not attribute... See, I learned more things in life. I got more education in the streets than school. You see these places where they play draft. Oh boy, now my school be that. Being with people who know more than me taught me more than anything any teacher could have taught me in school. Okay? My certificate, by there's nobody who finish in program, they get certificate. I told them, man, I can't do some nonsense. Expect me to appear before a useless set of people calling themselves senators. Come on, carry this your nonsense certificates, go to hell. Corruption, jam corruption. Of course. So the minister should account for the well done, bro. This shit must stop. It must, oh, and we have to put an end to it. How are we going to stop politicians living abroad with our corrupt? My dear, follow them. If you know where they are living, go there and start protesting. Follow their kids. I've told you people, keep following their kids everywhere they are going. You see them in the nightclub, worry them. If you can't do it inside because of the bouncers, guys, when you go to the club, if you go to the club with $500, buy drinks worth $200. Tip the bouncers $150 or $200. Take the other $100, go home. Or if you want to use it and buy a living thing, you buy a living thing, go home. So when you see these ones there, you beat them. No matter how much they're spending in the club, the bouncers will not touch you. Okay? Not just when you go to the club. You see some Nigerians, they'll be standing on top of the chair in the club. Big boys. Idiot. The day it will say they will beat you, they will pound you like fufu. They will pound you like fufu. Are you hearing me? You just got champagne. They give you. You do like that after you take a living thing and go home. Don't worry, they go the way you go start. But you are still reading very well. I mean, you think you need to go to school before you become smart and intelligent? Are you serious? Oh no, no. I really need to know what's your program. Oh no. Thank you, my brother, my sister, Wanjiku Mary. Thanks. My dear, the best school is street. And if you grew up in Onitsha, my dear, every part of Onitsha is a department. You have department of Mem Market, department of Opiweka, department of Okpoko, department of Awada, department of Enu Onitsha, department of Mpo, department of Ogidi, department of Obosai. You want to go department of Mpiba, Idemili, all these places. Just like Lagos, department of Ajegule, department of Lagos Island, department of Okota, department of Ojo, department of Ajangbadi, Badagry, all these Ketu, Ojota, all these places, Ikeja, Okoko, Mushi, Egbeda, pure scam. Pure scam, especially with waste of resources and your precious time. Of course, I'm always right. Most of the time, okay. Zambia. My brother, we are seeing it. We are seeing it. We are seeing those things. We are seeing them. We are seeing them. We are seeing them. We are seeing them. Those on YouTube. Those on YouTube, I think we've come to the end of the broadcast. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ijele Speaks. Follow me on what do you call it? Twitter. Ijele Speaks also. I will have to end the YouTube stream now. I will have to end the YouTube stream. Okay.